Hey, welcome everybody. My name is Renee Hobbs, and I have to tell you, we are super excited that you're joining us for this special event. Um, how did I learn about you, my friend? I read something that you wrote in a scholarly article about these two lesson plans, and I said, I simply must meet him. Shin Mizukoshi is a kind of famous media studies professor at Kansai University in Japan. And when I read this presentation, the presentation that you're about to see, I was blown away and I thought, I want to try the same activity with my American students. And what better way to harvest ideas than from the source here. Shin Mizukoshi, thank you so much for joining us, and
Thank you.
um, please please know that we are so happy that you are sharing your pedagogy and your insights on media literacy with our global knowledge community. So welcome.
Thank you very much, Professor Rune Hobbs. And hello, everybody. I'm in the morning, a little bit future, maybe almost all of you from you. And as today, my presentation will be not a fine one, theoretically fine one, but the kind of the roughly putting on the table some vision and two kind of workshop, which is connected to my vision.
Hey, welcome everybody. My name is Renee Ha.
Okay, so from now on, I will show the slide. Can you see it?
Looks good.
Okay. So this is an overview of today's my rough presentation. There are two parts. One is an examination of the vision called the media biotope or media biotope, which I coined about 20 years ago. It's described as a small networked media sanctuary where people, mainly adults, can relearn media literacy and practices. And I want to show you this vision first. And then I will show you small and large two workshops. Both of them are focusing on the human voices. And one is a very small one, like an icebreaker. And another one is a little bit complicated interdisciplinary projects achievement and called the telephonoscope. It's the voice recording system and the public listening system or so on. And the last part is going to be a discussion part, which Rune asked me to prepare three discussion questions. And that is mainly focusing on the possibility, limitation, or significance of voice-based media education practices, and also the challenges of the how to bridge the academic people and the public general people or so on with the concept of the media biotope. Okay, so firstly, I will show you some theoretical background of mine. And this is a kind of the references, and I am not only focusing on the media education or media literacy, but I'm originally a media historian and media theorist, and very much interested in the anthropology and folklores. There's some discussion in public anthropology and folklores are very much connected to today's media education's challenges. And also, media design or participatory design, co-design is a very important part of my discussion. And this is a kind of the framework. For about 2 decades or 3 decades, I've done many workshops which I designed in local communities or companies, offices, or so on. Not so much in the schools, but I do this kind of things in many social sectors. And I developed several workshops of the media literacy with my interdisciplinary researchers and put into the community, okay, and do it again and again with the local people. And many times, some of the local people are aware not only the media education or media literacy's purpose or so on, but they are very much interested in the process or mechanism of the media literacy workshops. So it's very interesting. They localize or customize our, how shall I say, default media literacy workshop into their own communities, feature, or nature. And this kind of things has been happening many times. So I put the name the critical media practice for this. This is kind of the co-creation between the researchers and general people, the workshop design, which is very effective in their own community. So I am now in the Osaka, but long time I was a professor in the University of Tokyo, and a left figure is the description of the University of Tokyo's neighborhood. You know, University of Tokyo is one of the leading university in Japan, but when do the survey research among the neighborhood, this university is most unpopular or unfamiliar university among the neighborhood people. Because the University of Tokyo is like a top university looking at only Harvard or Oxford, the kind of thing. The University of Tokyo's people don't care about the neighborhood people or neighbor local festival or kind of thing. The professors are looking down the local people, which I found with the municipal government surveys researchers, and I try to do a kind of the critical media practice among the local community for about 10 years and do try to develop several media literacy workshops, which I will show you afterward for two examples. But I try to develop several workshops from the small scale to the full size ones and put them into the local community. And then I found there are many local leaders or some people who are not leaders, but who are very keen about this kind of activities. And then gradually we did a kind of the collaborative development of the local media practices. And we developed a website and we asked the local cable TV station to make the unique programs and ask this, shopping unions, people, community center, junior high, high school, kindergarten, and the local festivals, own, leadership to do the many kind of the workshop and make a kind of the media community, small sized. It's a Bunkyo world where the University of Tokyo is. The total population is 200,000. So it's not so small, but in the very downtown area of Tokyo, and we continue this kind of activities still now after my transferring to the Osaka. And during the process, I coined the word media biotope. It's a small but networked media ecosystem. And this is a sphere where we can do the participatory pilot studies and local people can localize and customize them to, apply their everyday lives. And maybe you know the name, the Biotope. Biotope is originally from German environmental protection citizen movement. And, it's try to make a small sized, ecosystem in the backyard gardens or temples garden or a small stream nearby. It's not a great nature, but there are many small, sized ecosystem in the urban area or suburbia, and which should be connected each other. Then the small beetle or dragonflies or birds those kind of things can survive, and these kind of things make the environment gradually coming back. And I think for example, the media theory is mainly focusing on very gigantic something like platform capitalism or big tech or big media industry and attacking them kind of thing. But what I'm thinking is that focusing on small everyday practice, neighborhood, and kind of things, and connecting them each other, and gradually, developing media literacy or media play or media practices in this kind of the media biotopes. But one very important thing is that if the community is only small or only one, not connected to any other things, it is very easy for this kind of community to become a kind of so-called Tea Party community or ultra right wing or left wing or kind of thing, extremely communities. But connected each other with a diversity and fraternity, we can manage to make this kind of media biotope. Of course, a school classroom is a very core, unit of the media biotope. But because Japan is aging society tremendously, and many people may live until 90 or 100. That's not the surprising things. So there must be a relearning, opportunity, especially for male senior people who are very easy to go into the ultra right wing kind of things. So that's a very serious matter. So mainly with the world, the vision media biotope, I am focusing on the media literacy for adults. And school education is very important, but that is one important element, but there must be others. And these are the storytelling workshops pictures which I did for about 10, 20 years or so on. And yeah, focusing on adults, re-education of media expression or literacy. And I try to introduce gamings, which is not the electronic, cutting edge gaming, but very old fashioned Japanese small poet unit or the card game or kind of things, which is very familiar for the senior generation, and try to use those kind of the game formats with the civic tech and make kind of the workshops inside the concept of the media biotopes. And yeah, yeah, I will skip this one. And yeah, then today I want to focus on the voice. And there are many kind of the workshops and small to the big one and kind of things. And but because I started as a media historian of radio and telephone, I am very much focusing on the voice. And these are some previous activities with the voice workshop or so on. But from now on, I will show you two kind of workshops with the term of the voice. And one is this one. It's very small, ice-breaking many workshops to explore the mechanism and characteristics of the digital media, such as social media and so on, and which are often taken for granted in a daily life and not, carefully, examined by general people. And so now I will try to show you the, sorry. It's a bit embarrassing, but this is how shall I say?
We are seeing your Instagram page
Yeah,
now. Okay,
it,
just checking.
yeah, it's a bit embarrassing because even the personal computer's version of the Instagram, this is very personal thing. So I show the you this kind of thing is very embarrassing. But this is the interface of the Instagram,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
And the PC version. And I wanna check the terms of use or the privacy policy.
Okay.
And I want to ask some of you to read out them loudly. Okay. So where is the terms? Here is a small gray, description. Here's a term.
Okay. I would never have thought to click there.
Yeah. So
Okay.
many of you are using the Instagram, but probably most of you don't examine it very carefully. And this is a terms of use, and here are many descriptions, but uh, here is how our service is funded. It's very interesting that they said funded. It's like smells like public foundation or so, but it means that they are getting money from the ad agency kind of things.
Right.
But could could you do me a favor? That somebody, could you read these sentences?
Okay.
Somebody, could you raise your hand and or just read the term of the how our service is funded?
Barbara, we're going to call on you. Can you read that
Could you read it in a, if you can, theatrical way,
in
very
a
dramatic
theatrical
way?
way?
Okay,
For sure.
how our service is funded. Instead of paying to use Instagram, by using the service covered by these terms, you acknowledge that we can show you ads that businesses and organizations pay us to promote on and off the Meta company products. We use your personal data, such as information about your activity and interests, to show you ads that are more relevant to you. We show you relevant and useful ads without telling advertisers who you are. We don't sell your personal data. We allow advertisers to tell us things like their business goal and the kind of audience they want to see their ads. We then show their ad to people who might be interested. We
Barbara,
also,
thank you very much.
okay,
Yeah, because of the time limitation, two sentences
it's
is
fine.
okay. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
not a problem. You're very welcome. You're
Yeah.
welcome. You're welcome.
And I do this kind of the small sized ice breaking workshop like things in my the courses titled Media Literacy from the Thursday morning from the 9 a.m. The audience, the students are about 150 to 200. Most of them are sleepy, and I pointed out somebody to speak out the sentences loudly. And but it's very interesting. They wake up and calmly listen to it. And
Mhm.
so another point, I will switch to the privacy policy. There are many things, and funny movies are here. like.
At Meta, we use information to provide you with a more personal, secure, and meaningful experience. But where does that information come from? The information.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. But yeah, for
Wow.
example, your activities and the information you provide here. So please, another person who can you raise your hand to read around here?
All right, Randall, Megan, can you read this section loudly with feeling?
The blue part I show you.
Megan's gonna do it. You rock.
I can
Thank
read
you.
that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Megan.
On our products, you can send messages, take photos and videos, buy or sell things, and much more. We call all of these things you can do on our products activity. We collect your activity across our products and information you provide, such as content you create, like posts, comments, or audio. Content you provide through our camera feature or your camera roll settings, or through our voice-enabled features. Learn more about what we collect from these features and how we use information from the camera for masks, filters, avatars, and effects. Messages you send, receive, including their content, subject to applicable law, on some products, you can use end-to-end encrypted messages. Learn more about how end-to-end encryption works.
Megan, thank you very much. And here is some clickable place, and this is learn more. What kind of data they are collecting? And I don't ask anybody to read this, but I just show you quickly.
Wow.
So the picture seems something wrong. It's very, but so go back. So I will switch to back to the, thank you very much, but to my slides. Where is my slide? Here. And please, these terms of use or the privacy policy is a very, very useful stuff for schools also. Right. And it's firstly free.
Right.
Free, and but there is no other books or the articles which examined more than these kind of things, because for example, Meta Corporation is so serious about their privacy policy or so on, and there are many versions, but please use these kind of things. But point is that reading it, not reading silently, but reading loudly, in front of the public, in the school. And it's a kind of the theatrical situation, and sleepy students can listen to it. And it's okay to read silently. Read silently is very intellectual, kind of things. Academic people don't read their articles, speak loudly or kind of thing, but right. Still, voice has something.
Yeah.
And I don't have enough time to discuss about this kind of things, but this why the students, and I did the kind of the survey about the effect, but they are so interested in and they understand many things. But I think that reading something with their voice is very much connected to the so-called symbol ground problems, very much. And also, there are many discuss examination that what is their history or the history of the language. Language is coming from in English onomatopoeia, in Japanese onomatope, but bow wow kind of things. But this kind of is a kind of the origin of the language, and symbol grounding problem. These kind of things are very much connected to the maybe the understanding, platform capitalism, not from the theory or ideology, but the bodily understanding.
Right. Shin, I want to make a comment on this activity because, first of all, I really think the performative nature of the reading aloud is very meaningful and significant. And what I observed as I heard our two readers read aloud is it made me notice how the language is structured to be so simple. I think, they have ways, they have measures of measuring the complexity of the sentence, what reading level or how complex the sentence is. Those sentences were written to be so simple. And yet the ideas they had in them were actually very complicated business concepts. So I think the performance reading aloud made me notice that disconnect between the simplicity of the sentences and the complexity of the idea.
Yes. That's very keen point, and thank you very much. And another point is that they clearly explain many things. The piles of sentences are there, and that's a big effort. But one point is that I examined in detail, and there is no description that by what kind of data they can earn money from the advertiser or so.
Right.
Probably they fragmented the data and analyze them with the artificial intelligence and sell some kind of the report like things or data to the advertiser, but they don't describe this kind of process in detail. But anyhow, the simplicity and complex structure contrast what you pointed out is very important point. So because of the time limitation, I will move to a little bit larger project we developed with the boys. And before this discussion, I will show a small video about the telephone store, which we developed.
Hello, my name is Telephonoscope. Please tell me your memories of this term, such as your favorite cafe, an unforgettable scene, and recent happenings. Your message will be recorded by me and published online. You can also enjoy listening it here. Are you ready? Yes, here you go.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a kind of the achievement done with my team member, Finnish and Japanese media researcher, communication researcher, and information designer, urban engineers, and AI engineers, and try to collaborate each other to make a kind of the micro sized voice storytelling system and workshops. And we put this kind of the black dial telephone in the public bath, sauna in Finland, or some kind of the public space in the city or so on, and to ask them a very simple thing: what is your memory about here, or how about today, or kind of things. So most of them the talking are very fragmented ones, and but corrected them and put on the server, and we make a kind of the public listening party or kind of things in many places. And there are one common character between Finnish people and Japanese: very shy, very serious, don't speak very feel at ease in the public space. So we don't use the serious voice very much. Finnish, not so much. And that's very maybe different from the American people or so on. So because of those kind of the situation, I developed this kind of things. And this is the first, workshop which we've done in the public library of the Helsinki, Finland, about 10 years ago. And here is a small, maybe elementary school, third grader or so. And here is his friend. And he is talking. Suddenly, a very serious traffic accident he suffered, and his scalp injured very much, or kind of things. And his friend is so stunned or surprised because he never heard about this kind of story from him. And this kind of things happened everywhere. When people hook up and suddenly they move to the personal mode and talk their very deep, secret like episode or so on. Sometimes they are crying, don't stop talking, or kind of things. And it's very interesting things. This is we never done this one, but this is our vision. We want to put this kind of a system everywhere in the city, and use them for correcting memories and sharing the memories and so on. We also do this kind of thing in the tsunami and earthquake suffer places. We use the public telephone, house, and put the black telephone and so on. But anyhow, again, storytelling with voice is very elemental matters of the media literacy, I think. And there are many things like, filter bubble or algorithm, and how to be aware of those kind of the existence. That's very important. But fundamentally, we have body, we have the affection, and voice is kind of the very elemental medium for express and accept those kind of things. And this kind of very elemental level is a very important matter of the media biotope. Without this kind of the affection, the taking care of this kind of the voice levels, elementary matters, and disconnected to others, people very easy to turn to a very extreme, thinkers, or they are very much affected by the digital media in a very unhealthy way. And lastly, this is the kind of the PR, but we established a public foundation called INSTEM. It's Interfield Network for Science, Technology, and Media Studies. And this is mainly the mission is developing learning programs, toolkits, and the places for new media literacy, mainly for adults. And we, with a keyword like a media biotope, or with this kind of the voice storytelling workshop or so on, I am going to develop something in Japanese society, mainly about the for the adult media literacy or so on. Okay, so that's my presentation, Raf. And this is the last question. I'm not sure these are very, suitable or it's very vague, but one is that how do you think about the voice in the media education? What the potential or do you think the voice have? And second is what is the current state of the media education for adult in your society? Well, what should it be like? Because in Japan, media education for children and media education for adult, both of them are very behind. So I'm very curious about that. And third is that how should media education researchers and teachers learn media literacy? So it's very much
Wow.
connected to the first workshop. So that's it.
Wow, these are great questions, Shin. So the floor is open. Megan, Randall, which of these questions would you like to tackle first and why? Which question intrigues you?
I think number 3 for me anyway.
Yeah, how
Um,
should media education researchers and teachers learn media literacy?
I'm in the library at Providence College, so we're teaching college age students about, media production, and we really want to incorporate more media literacy into that and teaching them more about that because I feel like it is kind of behind for those students that are, 18 to 23 or
Yeah. And the thing is that I think the challenge is media systems and platforms are changing so fast that we all have to be learners. So your question, Shin, is really right that we're on a fast track to learning new things. I feel like I struggle to figure out how to teach the concept of terms of service and why terms of service exist, what their function is legally, how they're designed to protect the company's interests. And I feel like there are some debates in the field about whether, you know, you have to click something to agree to the terms of service, but is that act of clicking an actual act? Like a binding, is it a binding legal act that you just clicked that in order to download the app or whatever? And I feel like I don't have a good way to teach about, I haven't found a good way to teach about that topic yet. And so I feel like even just seeing, read aloud the terms is a way in to that complex topic. So it's almost like, and I think also simplifying some of the complexity. How do I explain generative AI? Well, it's like, it's not magic, it's math, right? So how do we come up with ways to capture complex ideas in crisp, simple, accessible, bite-sized ways?
Yeah, I agree to you. And well, I've showed you my Instagram store interface. And in the classroom, I intentionally use my iPhone to connect to the projector and showing the same interface, but by PC and by iPhone is very different for my feeling. I'm very embarrassed with this one, you know. And the point, and I'm trying to, find a very small, something, and I have bad eyes, so I'm very struggling. And sometimes students are laughing at me. But I believe that this process is very important because I'm not a perfect person and I am a very just a senior person who cannot read a fine, characters or so, and try to, go to the privacy policy by the navigation of some youngsters or so on. And this kind of struggling or, drifting process must be very important for sharing the sympathy among the teachers and the students or researchers and the students.
It's almost like a way for you to model being a learner yourself. And I want to underline that point about you showing the students what the cell phone screen looks like, not the desktop version. Because I feel like that's a practice that I probably could steal from. I don't do that. I am always showing them the desktop version of things. And I feel like actually they live on the cell phone version of everything. So seeing that display and reflecting on the choices that are made in that vertical format is also a place, an opportunity to have a conversation about the design choices and the strategy behind the scrolling. So I'm intrigued at your using your cell phone screen, like you said, in a very intimate and personal way. Um, I think that's a brilliant piece of pedagogy. I feel like I want to talk about the voice topic because I think the voice topic is so intriguing, and both of your projects address voice, but have they I think they're doing, I see different components of that. Like, I was wondering, why do you think that the act of picking up the old-fashioned phone got people to like reveal their like stories they haven't told their friends? Like, what's the psychology behind why they would be so intimate in their storytelling with that old-fashioned phone? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Why?
Well, that's a very good question, and we have not yet examined it in detail. But there are discussion with my team members that the Shin providing the black dialed phone is not so useful for youngsters because they don't know how to use it,
They never
But
saw one before.
yeah. But as I show you the public libraries scene with the elementary school boys, and there are many young people, including the boys and girls, can easily pick up and use these kind of things. So, and they have the kind of the stereotypic image of the black telephones in their, animation or movie, maybe. And that's one thing. But the other thing is that, of course, for the senior people, it's a very retrospective feeling they can have with this kind of the products. But another point, which some of my colleagues of the telecom industry engineer insisted, is that the ergodynamics of this black phone is very good. And using this one is very different. If you use this one, you can speak and hear an hour or 2 hours, but this is very hard. It's just a plate, So it's unconsciously, it's very hard. We try to adjust our listening and, talking, in a very unconscious way. And we feel a kind of the fatigue after our voice conversation with this kind of things. I don't know very well, but this kind of the ergodynamics matter might be very important things. So, the
Right.
some professional telephone answering laborers use this kind of,
Right.
interphone, which is not like this one, but in some way resemble to the old-fashioned, dial phone.
Right. So maybe some part of it is the design of the phone itself. Maybe it's for some, it's nostalgia. For older people, it's the nostalgia of using the phone. For the younger people, it's like the exotic nature of they've never used one before. And it is interesting about the intimacy of it,
Yes,
right?
that's right.
The
So
you
the
are,
intimacy, this shape,
yeah,
this artificial object afford the intimacy, not
yeah.
only for the senior people. So that's the point the engineer insisted on strongly.
Do you think people participating in the telephony,
Telephonoscope. Yeah.
they do they understand that their voice recordings would be captured and then l- able to be heard by others? So
Yeah. So that's
they knew that, right?
Yeah, so that's a very important point. So it's a kind of term of uses of the
Right.
telephonoscope, right? So we show them some play that the explanation and with the voice, there are some confirmation that your voice are recorded and can hear blah 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 kind of things. So if they don't want to put up the server, they can ask me because I am crying. I don't want to put that on the server or kind of things. Yeah, we
That's
collected this kind of the voice data in a small sized local museum in the Bunkyo World where University of Tokyo is, and as a kind of the database and do a kind of the listening per the maybe once per 4 seasons or so on.
right.
Yeah.
A listening party.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, you know that the digital storytelling exhibition like parodies, audio-visual ones, that's very interesting ones. And we've done audio-visual digital storytelling activities for a while, for many years, but it's a kind of the oral version of that.
So
So
you choose some of the pieces to come together and to sort of showcase to let everyone in the room hear those.
yes, yes. So there are two types. One is our member perform as a radio disc jockey and pick up something.
Uh-huh.
That's one way. And the other one is just show from the alphabetical things like here is Megan, Shin, and
Right.
Lander and Rune, or kind of things. So
Time, right.
there are two ways. And my our experience, that the first one, the radio, like kind of the coordinating one, is more popular
Aha.
among the people.
Why do you think that is? Why is the radio having the host like be the DJ? Why does that better?
Maybe that's also very fundamental question, and I should examine it in detail. But you know, kind of democracy or the community cannot consist of the equal sized voices or performance or kind of things, but there must be some coordination or editorship, kind
Yeah,
of things.
yeah.
And the people want those kind of things. So this is a very basic matter of the how the journalism functioned in the local community or nationwide, because without the journalist or editor, yes, okay, there are many YouTube or kind of things, and we can see it and we can check the what happened in the world, but never nobody do it. You know,
Right. That's right.
we need
Because
editors or
right, the
coordinate.
editor makes meaning that connects the stories together in some
Yeah.
kind of flow where there's a reason why this one is first. There's a reason why
Mhm.
this one comes next. Then
Yeah.
this one is last for a reason. Yeah, because the DJ is architecting a set of feelings
Mm.
with those choices. Oh,
And
that
the
is so
last thing I can attach is that during the process of the radio show, like a public radio show, like storytelling events, the people whose voices are recorded there, and they want to show some pictures,
Wow.
memorable pictures.
Right.
So we prepared a projector and asked them to connect their iPhone or Android, and they embarrassed, but they show, for example, the 1969, there is a big student movement in the University of Tokyo, and many bricks are, thrown. And some of the restaurant owner, have the memory of the students who are doing actively the,
Oh,
movement, but they are good customer to your restaurant, and they have the picture. And they want to show this kind of picture after the voice storytelling. And then one person show the picture, and then another person want to show the picture. And so they are kind of the competition and the last part of the discussion. And this is very beer pub or restaurants activities, but it's one step before the media education or literacy. But we really need this kind of the communal
yeah.
opportunity or space where they want to show their pictures or memories or even so fragmented and connected them each other to think about their past or the future. And this is not only the drinking parties topic, but also connected to the kind of the media literacy matters.
It definitely helps, I think, people appreciate how what brings people together is some kind of sharing of experience or a symbolic experience. Like having something in common is what allows community to form. And it's so weird because now with us using social media, we're having a social experience, but completely all by ourselves.
That's
Like,
right.
so how beautiful to like actually bring people together, grant a reminder, oh, this is a communal experience.
Mm.
Randall, so happy
Yep.
to see you.
Oh,
I've been
hi,
noticing
Renee.
you lurking.
Yeah,
I'll
sorry.
be.
Yeah, I've kind of been, I have a deadline on something, so sorry. I've been trying to pay attention here, but I wanted to say that the last topic, musical sensei you talked about is interesting because I used to work with a group of World War II veterans to get their stories before they passed on, and how they would get into a room together and start just swapping stories about the same things that they went through. And what we did was we got all their oral histories in order to kind of corroborate, the
Mhm.
stories, to find out what the truth is. But to hear them to expand on each of their stories and to, oh yeah, I remember that, and to expand on that and how they, how their community just got stronger just by sharing their common stories was so, I mean, it was so fascinating, so interesting. That's what it reminded me of. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention, sorry, is that with the phone thing. So there's an experience here in Los Angeles. I'm in LA called The Nest, and it is it's kind of an escape room, but it's an immersive experience that's all audio based. So you go into a room, you pick up a phone, and you hear this girl talking about something she's going through. And then that leads you to another thing, like you get a cassette, you find a cassette tape, and it leads you to another audio thing. And then you find the other, and a phone rings over there, you have to go pick it up, and you hear these different characters and take you to this whole story just by audio, which is really cool.
I just looked it up. I put the link in the chat. I'm like,
Okay.
next time I'm going to LA, I'm going to check that out. And wouldn't that be a fun project to actually design too? Like,
Mm.
could you get a group of students and say, okay, here you have to produce a audio-based story that's interactive. I could see that being full of media literacy opportunities to think about point of view, about bias, unreliable narrator. I mean, credibility, so many interesting topics. Thank you for sharing. That's fascinating.
Thank you very much. I will check the website.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow. Okay, well, that is really actually kind of a good place to leave us here. I think one of the nicest things about coming together to share our practices is that I feel kind of empowered to try out an idea. I think the examples you showed us were actually one very ambitious, one very small. And I feel like the method of your plan was strong, Shin, because I feel kind of inspired to start with the small project, which I know I can do the read out loud terms of service. And then that will help me think about, could I organize a listening room or a listening experience? My students produce digital stories, but they just watch them on their own. We don't come together as a community to watch them.
Mhm.
And maybe that's the missing piece here. So,
Yes. So
yeah.
we provided the telephone scope at the International Communication Association's party also, or the academic association, sometimes very interesting, sometimes very boring. And there are many things we want to say something. And we do that in the party, but in the party there is a phone. And they put a lot of things. Or after my 200 people students sleepy, boring lecture, I put them and they say something to that without
Wow.
the
So putting them
reporting to the.
in unpredictable places in unfamiliar and new contexts is also part of the magic of this.
Yeah.
Wow. What a beautiful project. I absolutely love this idea. I feel very grateful that you have joined us
Thank you
for
very
this
much.
webinar.
Yeah.
I'm putting the link to the live recording in the chat here. You'll be able to share this with your colleagues.
Mhm.
And we're going to promote it widely because we would like more people to be able to learn from distinguished media literacy educators like yourself. Thank you so much for being
Thank
part
you
of
very much.
it.
Thank you
And
joining us.
Megan and Randall, thank you for joining us as well.
Thank you
Really
very much.
so happy to have you in our network. Bye-bye
Yeah.
now.